we can use the word had to form conditional sentences, form past situations. A very simple sentence that we could make is, had I only known. This will be in a response to some situation that you didn't know about. Here is the helping verb had, and then here is the past participle form. Notice that this is not a question. There is no question mark, or this is not a question. It begins with a helping verb had, but it's not a question. So if I start with this, then I have to use the past participle, that is known. And it just means that something didn't happen in the past. Had I only known means I didn't know. It means that I didn't know. There is the same meaning really. It means I didn't know. Had I only known, its real meanings are I didn't know. However, whatever this is, this could be followed by, had I only known, I would have made other arrangements. In this first part of the sentence, this is the condition, this one. But I didn't know, and this is the action, I would have made other arrangements. So this part reflects condition, and the later part, this one and this one, both of this, I would have made other arrangements. This would be the action. So, as I said, in this first part of the sentence, this is the condition, and I would have made other arrangements. This is the action that I would have taken, but I didn't take that action because of this. Had I only known, because I didn't know, that's why I could not take that action. Now, had he studied for the test, he probably would have gotten a better score. So, at the end of this part of the sentence over here, had he studied for the test. So at the end of this part of the sentence, here is the comma, we can see this one. And then you can use the word probably, this one. It would be talking about the past and then the word have. We can see that talking about the past followed by the word have. So I mean to say, at the end of the first part, had he studied for the test, which is a condition, it means he didn't study for the test. So at the end of this particular part, this one, initial part, here is the comma. Once again, I reiterate this comma, and then you can use the verb probably. Once again, this word probably. It would be talking what? About the past and then the word have. This would followed by have. And here is the past participle form of the verb. Past participle form. So this didn't happen. Had he studied for the test, he probably would have gotten a better score. It means this didn't happen. He didn't study for the test. He didn't study for the test, and he didn't get a good or better score. Now, look at this sentence. Had she felt better, she would have gone to the game. Notice that I didn't, had she felt better, she didn't feel better, or she didn't feel well, and she didn't go to the game. So this is the situation. Notice again that there is no question mark. Once again, there is no question mark over here. Notice again that there is no question mark here. This is not a question, even though it begins with a helping verb had once again. So, had the plane left the airport on time, we would have arrived earlier. This is another example. Had the plane left the airport on time, it means the plane didn't leave the airport on time. That's why we would have arrived earlier, means we were not able to arrive earlier. We were late. Or we can make it negative. Had the plane not left, over here we can insert that word not in order to make this particular sentence a negative one. Had the plane not left the airport on time, we would have arrived late. So we have to rephrase it then like this. Had the plane not left the airport on time, we would have arrived late. So it just depends on how you begin the sentence, and that turns the sentence how it will end. It means the plane left on time and we didn't arrive late. This means had the plane not left the airport on time, we would have arrived late. It means that the plane left on time and we didn't arrive late. That's why we were on time. So if we use the negative because of the front of the past participle, so as I said, if we use the negative because of the front of the past participle, had he not had the operation, he would have died. We don't always have to use this form of the verb in the second part of the sentence. It's okay to change it like this. Had he not had the operation, he would have died. So we can rephrase it like that. Had he not had the operation, he wouldn't be here today. Just like that. So as I said, we don't always have to use this form of the verb, would have, this one. Or we don't always have to use this form of the verb in the second part of the sentence. It's okay to change it with something like this one. Had he not had the operation, he wouldn't be here today. This is also good one. This is okay. This is acceptable. It's common to use never. It's common to use never in these kinds of sentences. When this happens, then something did happen. For example, had she never broken her leg, she never would have met her husband. And she did meet her husband. So whatever the situation is, perhaps her husband was a doctor, or he was at the hospital that day. So that's why we say that she never would have met him if she hadn't broken her leg. Again, over here we can see this is another situation, similar sort of situation. She never would have met him if she hadn't broken her leg. So we can correlate these two situations, although they are identical. So as I said, that sometimes in response to the description of a situation, a person will say something like this. Number one, had I only become a doctor. Had I only become a doctor. It means that, of course, I didn't become a doctor. Or number two, had they only saved their money. Had this only saved their money. Which means that they didn't save their money and suffered the consequences. Another expression is had he only known. But he didn't know and the consequences were not good. Now, another expression, had we left earlier, we'd be there by now. So this thing happened and this is the present situation. Had we left earlier, it means we didn't leave early or earlier, so we'd be there by now. It means that this has happened and this is the present situation, that we ought to be there now and we aren't there now and we didn't leave earlier. So because of not leaving earlier, we are not there at this moment. So means the result is not good. Hope this will clarify the concept of use of had, that is equivalent to if. Thank you.